Hello everyone, welcome to Carnivorous Plants Hub. Today we're going to be talking about identifying and harvesting Venus flytrap seeds. What do you look for and how can you harvest the seeds so you can grow Venus flytraps yourself? I'm going to show you two different methods I use to collect the seeds in different situations. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to use my macro lens to show you some super close-ups of the Venus flytrap seeds so you can recognize the shape and really know what they look like. I'm also going to give a lot of valuable information about Venus flytrap seeds to help you decide if you want to harvest seeds or cut your flower stalks. If you saw my last video, you know that letting my Venus flytraps flower really took a toll on my plants. Overall, I really don't recommend that you let them flower unless your goal is to obtain Venus flytrap seeds. Allowing them to flower will consume a lot of the plant's energy. This will typically slow or stop growth of the traps. You will see smaller and less traps producing during the flowering stage of your plant. If you want seeds, then you'll obviously have to let them flower. I did want to note that I did not do any of my own manual pollinating. I've allowed nature to take its course. We have lots of bees, flies, and other insects in this area, and I've never really needed to manually pollinate any of my plants. It takes anywhere from 30 to 60 days from the time you start to see your flowers bloom until your seeds start to show up. When the flower dies and closes up, you will see a dark brown or black cluster with no seeds. This does not mean that the plant will not produce seeds. It still takes a couple of weeks from the time that the flower dies and bunches up until it peels away and shows you the seeds. Here's what it looks like if the flowers are not going to seed. You can see there is no cluster anymore. It's just dead leaves. If the cluster is still concealed in the middle, you have a chance to get some seeds. Once the plant is ready, the seed will reveal themselves like you see here. If you notice that all the flowers on that stalk have exposed their seeds, I like to use method number 1. I like to trim the flower stalks carefully and take them inside to scrape the seeds off and collect. I carefully pinch the flower stalk close to the top. The seeds can fall off, so I like to secure the flower stalk before I trim it. Snip the flower stalk as close to the bottom as you can. Be very careful not to cut into any existing growth or flytrap leaves that are popping up. The main reason I enjoy doing it this way is now I can sit at my desk comfortably with good light while I scrape and collect the seeds. The seeds are a dark black. I like to scrape the seeds onto a piece of white computer paper. This makes the seeds really easy to see. Simply use your thumb to kind of scrape the seeds and they'll just fall right onto the paper. Some of the pods might be 100% exposed while others might still be just a little bit hidden. You can pull back the leaves a bit to expose the seeds within. Get as many of the seeds off as you can. At this point, you can decide to be meticulous and get all the debris out, or you can simply fold the paper and pour the contents into whatever container you have to store these seeds in. I really like these little plastic vials. They make it super easy to store and keep the seeds. I have them linked in the description and the pinned comment. You get like 100 of them for 12 bucks. It's a pretty good deal. If you want to be more meticulous, you can take the time to separate the seeds from the debris. But what I've noticed in the past is that when I sprinkle the seeds onto the substrate, even if there's a little bit of debris, it really doesn't impact or affect whether or not the seeds will germinate. All right, and real quick before I show you the next method, I want to thank you so much for being here. Make sure to pour some water on the like button and subscribe to help my channel grow. I also want to invite you to head on over to carnivorousplantshub.com. My premium substrates are available for purchase. My highest rated and most popular products are my carnivorous plant repotting kits, good for fly traps, Sarracenia, sundews, and I even have a special substrate and planter for pings, plus many other types of carnivorous plants. They come with my premium substrate that I've been working on for years to perfect, and high quality planters. This takes all the guesswork out of repotting your Venus flytrap or other carnivorous plant. Head on over to my website, carnivorousplantshub.com right now. There's a link in the description and the pinned comment. I have videos over there showing you exactly how I make the soil and what ingredients I use. We've also been working with a designer to create some really fun and stylish carnivorous plant apparel. This is something we've been working really hard on, and we should be introducing it soon, so keep your eyes open for that. Also, I'm so excited to be teaming up with California Carnivores. They are one of the most experienced and knowledgeable carnivorous plant nurseries in the entire world. They have a massive selection year-round of all types of carnivorous plants. There will definitely be something in their nursery that you fall in love with. On top of that, they have been generous enough to offer my viewers an exclusive 10% discount on their order when they enter Bug Eater at checkout. That's Bugeater, Bug Eater. I have links in the description and the pinned comment, so you can head on over and pick out the perfect carnivorous plant to add to your collection. You know you deserve it. Let's go ahead and head on back to the video. The second method that I use to collect is when you notice maybe one or two of the flowers have produced seeds, but the others aren't that far along yet. I don't like leaving the exposed seed clusters out for a long time, as wind and other elements can knock the seeds off the flower. I like to collect them as soon as these little clusters expose themselves. When this happens, I'll just use a large container and scrape the seeds right off the flower stalk while it's still attached. You could take the time to cut just that flower off, but I find them kind of hard to work with when they're really small like that. I prefer to just scrape them right off the plant. It's a little more bending over, but it's a good way to collect the seeds that are ready, but leave the flowers that are still preparing the seeds behind the closed leaves. I'm actually going to be selling these seeds in kits here soon. I haven't finalized everything yet, but the kits will come with a domed container, the substrate to germinate them, and then obviously the seeds. There might be a little bit more, I'm not sure yet. I'm still kind of working out all the details. I'm going to have a fairly limited quantity of these kits once they hit the store, so make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when the kits are available. Now that you've seen how to harvest these Venus flytrap seeds, let's take a closer look and show you how to identify them. It's good to know what to look for in case you ever buy seeds. I strongly recommend that if you buy Venus flytrap seeds, only buy from a reputable seller. Stephen Wang with Evan M's Carnivorium is an excellent place to source seeds. You can contact them on Instagram. I'll have a link in the description. You can also go through California Carnivorous. They have a great selection of Venus flytrap seeds as well. Again, link in the description and pinned comment to go check out their seeds. Avoid buying from Amazon or any other online retailer you don't really know. eBay is hit and miss. I've even seen fake seeds on Temu and TikTok Shop, so buyer beware. As you can see, now that we're really close, flytrap seeds have a teardrop shape. They're dark black and have a distinct shape. Up close like this, you can see that they're all a bit different, but when you're looking at them with your regular eyes, they all look really similar. The other thing I really wanted to note about Venus flytrap seeds is that if you harvest them from a cultivar, the plant that grows from the seed is not a clone of the mother plant. Venus flytrap seeds can cross-pollinate, and you never know if the seeds are going to maintain the parent's characteristics. They would need to be labeled as seed grown. You can say the cultivar they came from, but you must indicate that they're seed grown. The only way to clone a flytrap is by leaf or flower stalk propagation, or if the plant naturally splits and grows babies from the existing rhizome. Seed-grown flytraps are not clones of the parents. If your goal is to clone your cultivar, I strongly suggest that you cut the flower stalks before they grow bigger than a couple of inches. You can put them in substrate and keep them moist. I have a video in the description that shows you this process step by step for higher strike rates. It's not always a super high strike rate, but if you plant a few flower stalks, odds are that one of them will strike. The new Venus flytrap growing from the flower stalk will be a clone of the main plant. You can label this plant as the cultivar of which the flower grew from. You can also propagate a clone of the plant by cutting off a leaf and following a similar process as the flower stalk. I've had even lower strike rates with leaves as I do with flower stalks. Plus, it's a lot harder for me to cut off a healthy flytrap leaf than to just cut off a flower stalk. You can also break the rhizome up a bit when you're repotting your Venus flytrap. Make sure the part that you break off has a healthy root. As long as it has a healthy root, there's a good chance that the new clone of the mother plant will shoot up. These are all great alternatives to allowing your Venus flytrap to flower and seed. Cutting the flower stalks may produce clones of the plant and will help maintain good growth of the Venus flytrap plant. I personally like propagating flower stalks before they do a lot of damage to my plant. The fact that the new plant is a clone and not just seed grown is another huge benefit in my opinion. If you want to learn more about how to grow Venus flytraps from seeds, check out the video that's popping up on the screen right now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I really hope to catch you in my next video. Bye!